Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. Citations to the elder bishops, and salutations to the brothers, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And this is a so-called attack on Crocus City Hall, right? Crocus City Hall attack on 22nd of March of 2024. A terror attack, which was, let's see if I could, which was carried out by the Islamic State, occurred at the Crocus City Hall music venue in Chronogungus. 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 Gus, right? However you say it. So Moscow Oblast, Russia, right? So they saying this attack happened, and let's peep out some of this news. Okay, it says exclusive, right? It says Iran. Wait, was that alerted? Right, alerted Russia to secure threats before Moscow attack. So they saying that, hey, they were letting them know about, oh, see, Iran alerted Russia to secure threat before Moscow attack. Iran warned Russia of possible terrorist attack, right? Peep this in the news. You just watch. This is how you know all this thing is. They're playing a freaking game, because here it is. U.S. told Russia of Crocus City Hall was possibly a target of an attack. See, but which one warned them, right? This is Russia continues to link terror attack to Ukraine despite conflicting U.S. So wait, Iran warned them. Now he's linking it to Ukraine. Despite conflicting U.S. intelligence. Yeah, March 22nd, right? Same thing. Terror attack on Crocus City Hall killed 145 people and injured hundreds in the deadliest attack in Russia in 20 years. Russia blames the U.S. and and Ukraine despite specific U.S. intelligence shared with Russia of an impending attack by ISIS on Crocus Nick Shafra takes a look at Russia's so they saying that America tried to warn them, right? But they said they blame it on Russia. They blame it on America and Ukraine. But then here it is. Iran's supposed to be your buddy, and it said Iran warned you. Exclusive world in Iran alerted Russia to security threats before, not after, but before Moscow attack. Iran warned U.S. possible attack. Information leaked. Specific details. Tehran gained information from specific link to Kerman attack. U.S. intelligence also warned. Okay, so they both said of likely attack. Saying Afghan base ISIS-K behind both Russia and Iran's attack. Huh? Yeah, saying it's the most deadly attack. Hey, that's Ishmael, right? Yeah, so this is Genesis chapter 16, verse 11. And the angel of Yahweh said unto her, Behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention, thus art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because Yahweh have heard thy affliction, right? And technically that's what Ishmael is going through right now, right? They're going through a series of turmoils and afflictions with these Edomites within their land, right? Because it's not just the Edomites from the West, NATO, EU, and America. It's also the Edomites of Russia that attacks them, right? So they're afflicted, right? They have an affliction coming from all sides. That's why the Lord prophesied. This is a prophecy, because the Lord tells the end from the beginning. So we're at the end of this reign of the last beast system, the last beast empire, right? Because when you go into it, each empire was a beast empire. I mean, but this is the only empire that's going to have a mark of that beast empire, right? Dealing with the Karagma, the Karax, the Engrapho, that's letting you be tracked, identified, and unable to buy or sell unless they deem it so, right? They could also, just with the flip or push of a button, you're able to buy, sell, and then with a push of a button, you're unable to buy and sell. This is the only time that will be able. You cannot. Oh, let me just go to the next city, start all over, build your name back up, build your brand up, or whatever. You will not be able to do that under this new society, right? The wound, that beast system that had the deadly wound and that was healed and have returned, right? NATO, EU, and America, right? They show that they're that, right? Right? The Treaty of Rome, right? Dealing with who they are, they know that they're these Edomites. They know that they're that Roman Empire that had to be rebuilt back up, that Edomite society, and this is Ishmael, right? Because they said that it was the Islamic State, right? Which is Ishmael. He will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man. See, so this is going on over there, and while you're fighting your thing in Ukraine, you're fighting your thing over here, you're fighting your thing. Hey, Ishmael knows what you've been doing in his country throughout the Middle East, right? We know America to go in there and steal oil, but it's not a known thing for Russia to be in there stealing gold. We don't know about that. But then when you go into a lot of things, Russia was there the whole time too. So what were they doing there? Not stealing gold? They were in the fight. They were fighting against ISIS. So this was an ISIS thing. So this is ISIS attacking them, which is absolutely weird because here it is, ISIS was able to get all the way into Moscow, set up a bomb, but they're making no progress in Ukraine against Russia. Hey man, I don't know. You gotta ask yourself. We don't know if that's real or fake. How is it even possible? Right? But then the U.S. warned you. Which, why should you give a care when this is your enemy? Yeah, why should you give a damn when this is your enemy? Right? But then they said Iran, which is your buddy. Iran, you told Israel, if you told them if they mess with Israel, you're gonna back them up. So that's your little buddy, right? So your little buddy warned you before it happened, but somehow it still happened, right? It's beyond bizarre, right? But hey, real or fake, it is what it is. But you still gotta be able to think. A lot of this don't make sense. It says, he is a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man against him. See, and they've been against him, right? And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren, right? So this is a place where he's dwelling at, right in the middle of from Iran, Iraq, Yemen, all the way over to, India, this some different places. They're all over the place, right? Right? They're in Pakistan, Afghanistan. They're amongst their brethren, right? And that Islam, or religion, is huge, right? So they can pretty much go wherever they want to go within the confines of other people believing in Islam, and maybe slip in and drop off a bomb, you know?
Today, Russian bombers pounded ISIS targets in Syria, pairing airstrikes with 34 cruise missiles launched at ISIS fighters. In all, 127 strikes of retaliation for the ISIS downing of a Russian commercial jet. And President Putin promised this was just the beginning.
We will search for them everywhere, wherever they are hiding. We will find them in any spot on the planet, and we will punish them.
After the crash, Putin...
See, and as you could see, this was a while ago because he was younger looking and everything. And even right here, it tells you this was 8 years ago. Right?
Was slow to concede terrorism, but since the deadly attacks in Paris, the Russian leader called for the world to unite and ordered his navy to aid a French naval force streaming towards Syria. Today, the Pentagon welcomed the move, but was cautious.
We'll wait to see what the Russians do next.
Amid fears ISIS is sending more fighters to kill Westerners, French President Hollande urged the U.S. and Russia, until now at odds over the fate of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, to, quote, unify our strength against the group.
We need a union of all who can fight this terrorist army in a single coalition.
We'll do what's required to keep the American people safe.
On Monday, President Obama found himself on the defensive, calling...
Right, so basically it said he should be against every man, and as you can see, there's Russia, France, basically the whole world is basically against him, against Ishmael. But Ishmael said, "Hey, he's gonna be against all them." So all that a 20-year war, and 20 years later with all these, what do you call it? Military powers, and they can't do nothing with ISIS, right?
This is Democracy Now! DemocracyNow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. In Russia, the death toll has risen to 137 from an attack on a popular concert hall in Moscow Friday. Authorities say gunmen opened fire inside the Crocus City Hall during a sold-out rock concert, then set part of the venue on fire. More than 100 people were also injured, many in critical condition. A survivor described the attack.
They were just walking and shooting as they went along. There were 5 or 6 of them. They were just walking and just shooting like this. They did not shoot upwards. They did not scream. They did not say, "Everyone lay down, we will kill you," etc. They were just walking and gunning down everyone methodically in silence. Sound was echoing and we could not understand what was where.
Sunday was a day of mourning in Russia.
So, and this is supposed to be ISIS that did this, right? You know what I'm saying? Which I believe BS. I call BS. But let's just say somehow this is true. They've done more than the Americans. They've done more than Ukraine. Do you know what I'm saying? You mean ISIS can walk into the joint and just start spraying people without speaking, without talking? You just walk into the building, burn half of it down, and walk out. They didn't even get no. They didn't even arrest them. Where's the arrest? You mean I'm ISIS and I know how to get around. I know how to get around in Moscow. I've never been to Moscow. You think I can go to Moscow, shoot up some shit, and walk out the thing, and then know where I'm going, and enough not to get caught by the police or the authorities or whatever they have there? I mean, hey, I call BS, but hey. Yeah, so this is Second Esdras, chapter 15, right? And this is how you know you're dealing with this time, right? Because the Lord tells the end from the beginning, right? So it says, for now, right now, are the plagues come upon the whole earth, right? So we had the CV-19, which shut down the entire whole earth, right? Right? Everything was shut down from Russia to Iran to America, right? And these are the things that you're dealing with, right? So it says, and ye shall remain in them, right? So you also got what, the so-called Zika virus, the swine flus, the bird flus. You had all these different other so-called ailments, right? And you're gonna have more, right? The charagma, right, which is the mark of the beast, is also a plague, right? The ICBM missiles, which is also a plague, right? So you're gonna have to remain in them, right? Right? It's come a time that no man may buy or sell, and say if he have the mark, right? So that's how you're gonna save yourself, so called, right? For power, the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, shall not deliver you, right? And it's going to come a time that, because of these things that's upon the earth, a lot of people is not meant to be delivered, right? The Lord's only dealing with the elect because ye have sinned against him, right? So we know that most of these nations are heathens anyway, so then they will never be able to worship the Most High in entirely in its truth in the first place, because they're not set up to be, right? And then you got 2/3 of the Lord's own people who they were meant to serve the Lord the right, correct way, but their lot is to be also amongst the wicked, because the Lord's only dealing with the elect. I mean, there's no other way around it. So it says, behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention, in horrible vision, right? And this is a prophesied, right? The end from the beginning, letting you know that the Lord is continuous. He is who he is, right? This shows that he has that power, right? Because even all the prophets, right? Daniel got sick when he seen the vision. Ezra said, who shall save me in the time of that vision, right? Which they all pretty much had the same vision of this end, this World War III, which where we're in right now, what we're talking about, and the appearance thereof from the east, right? And we're right over there in the Middle East, right? The Valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, right over there in the Middle East. This war it's continued to brew up, right? Between all these different places, right? Through terror attacks, through this, through that, drone attacks, right? It says where the nations of the dragon of Arabia, right? Dealing with Ishmael, right? Because Ishmael is a wild man, right? Shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear of them may fear and tremble, man. You hear about that ISIS? ISIS came through the joint at the musical hall in Russia, in Moscow, right? Hey, America can't even do that, right? Iran, well, it was not Iran, but the Israelis can't even do that, right? But ISIS, they walk up in the joint and start shooting up things, man, and burning down things, right? Says what was that? They carry as the wind upon the earth. They all that which heard of them may fear and tremble. Also, what the Carmanians, right? Carmanian dealing with Iran. Iran is basically Persia, or the Carmanians, Persians. And the Persians is what you call modern day Iran, right? Which Iran is in cahoots with Russia. So if ISIS, right, which is Ishmael, attacked Russia, so that means these Carmanians, which is Persia, have to fight against Ishmael, right? So this is what it's saying. The Carmanians, also the Carmanians, raging with wrath, shall go forth as a wild, as the wild boar of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, right? To come up again, they're gonna, right? Come up against them, join battle again, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, right? And when you go into that thing, Assyrians, it doesn't give you a direct thing, but it tells you that the Assyrians, or today, the Assyrians will have to be Ishmael. So it's saying that they're coming up against those different lands and those different Ishmaelites, right? Because even though Iran, I believe they believe in Allah too, right? They got their own version of Islam, right? But there's different factions of Islam, and they all don't get along, right? So they actually kind of war against each other. They fight against each other, right? So, yeah, Iraq. So Iraq, Kuwait, Syria, right? It even says parts of Iran with where the Assyrians are at. But we know, of course, Turkey have to be Ishmaelites, right? You right? Kuwait, Ishmaelites. I kind of relate that to Ishmaelites, right? Iraq, Ishmaelites, right? So we pretty much know that, yeah, those are Ishmaelites, right? But it said that Ishmael shall be what? A wild man. His hand shall be against, right? Every man, and every man against him, right? So then it says then shall the dragons have the upper hand, right? Because that's their land. They live in that place, man. They know the land. They know how to fight in that place. It's a different place when you go out in the Middle East to try to fight against them, right? It says that's the place where empires go to die, to come fight against them, man, right? Yes, it says, and shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, right? He's a wild man. He'll remember, hey, look, hey, I'm Ishmael. I'm a wild man. The Lord set that up for him to be a wild man, right? And if they shall turn themselves conspiring together, right, where you get the word conspiracy from, right? To conspire to 2 or 3 or 4 more people coming together to accomplish a thing. That's a conspiracy, right? But to conspire together in great power to persecute them, right? And to go into a theater and shoot 137 people and burn half the building down is a way to persecute people, man. Show them you're not all what you say you are, right? Right? Then it says, then shall these be troubled, bleed, right? Hey, you in there shooting them. Hey, these people are bleeding, right? They shall bleed, trouble, showing them trouble, bleed, and keep silent. That's what the lady said. They were in there just shooting without saying nothing. They were silent, making people bleed, and kept silent while they were doing it, right? Yeah, through their power, and shall flee, right? So, hey, and they went in there. I guess it said they were like the wind, right? So, yeah, I guess they went in there and boom, and dipped out, and they really were like the wind. Shot 137 people, burnt half the building, and walked out like the wind. No traces of them, right? They didn't get it. They didn't get no arrest. They didn't get anything, right? So, like I said, you gotta take all this stuff with a grain of salt. We don't know if it was real. We don't know if it was fake. But this is what they report. So this is what we're reporting on. We're just reporters, right? We're not here to have guns. We're just here to report Yahweh's news, man. Right? So, and from all the land of Assyria, right? Because all those different places that the Ishmaelites are at, of all the land of Assyria shall the enemy besiege them, right? They'll come up against them and consume some of them, and their hosts, which means armies, shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. So we got a lot of things coming upon this earth. Behold, the clouds from the east, right? These great military companies, right? Behold, the clouds from the east and from the north, right? Upon unto the south, Salakia, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm, right? Coming, hey, World War III is finna happen, man. Says they shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude, right? Dealing with these different military of stars, upon the earth, even their own stars, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, right? So it's going to be, World War III, and then eventually, you're going to have these S-400s and these missiles, and then the ICBM missiles. Things are going to cook up upon there, right? Because they're going to be in battle before the Lord comes, right? Before the ICBM missiles get shot, they're going to be in great battle against every man against each. World War III, man, fighting against each other. Everybody trying to take this position to get this land, to get this type of mineral from the earth, and this and that, and they're just totally and dung of men unto the camel's hoof. Right? So they're going to be like dead bodies stacked upon each other, fighting each other all over the place, right? So this is all going to happen And it's all happening now. It's all starting to just roll downhill. Right? So, with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. Right? The elder bishops. Salutations to the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. And above all.